Stealing shit and claiming it as your own sucks. It's underhanded and not cool. I have nothing else to say. Let's go. Do you remember my darkest industry video? How the Bronze Era and Dev Era would sometimes have inappropriate games make their way to the front page for hours at a time? Well, there's something else that's also controversial. That was also on the front page. It was also something that I thought sucked. And that was bait and switch games. Worst part, they were always on the front page and were not much of a concern for Roblox moderation. Bronze Era and Dev Era folk would constantly complain about, and paradoxically populate, bait and switch games. For those of you not in the know, bait and switch games are basically games with thumbnails and titles that differed wildly from the actual game it housed.
But you should never judge a book by its cover, nor a place by its thumbnail. And thumbnails can and have lied.
Is this some kind of sick joke?
There were so many of them. So many people were doing it. It was hard to tell what was original or not. Was it a game with a shoddy and manipulative presentation? Or was it a game that was actually stolen? Or was it just a bunch of free models? Call it a game. Point is, this practice was everywhere. It was shady, and there was a good chance that the game was plagiarized and stolen. There's not a lot of documented history of this practice, mostly because people want to remember the games that were actually original. These games were not respected, not revered, and not as legacy-defining as its contemporaries. People from the Golden Era parade around brick battles but tend to forget about the bountiful games of nothing made from children. People now parade around Evade Indoors, that's just you piece of shit, and neglect the vapid anime brawlers and simulator games that plague the games page. Just know that the less respected games tend to not be historically crucial despite contemporaneous popularity. Bait and switch games followed suit. I'll detail to you a few more examples of notable acts of plagiarism found within the Roblox Bronze Era and Dev Era.
Inoinfraction was created in 2009, and that was a time where it was not only easy to steal Roblox games, but was also just kind of the norm. Roblox was a very different platform back then. A man named Xplex found Inoinfraction and stole it for himself, re-uploading it under the name Undead Nation. Stealing games was no new practice to Xplex because, as evidenced by a segment in my video, you can see that he stole a popular game called Escape the Flooding City already. This same play slot was reused for Undead Nation. I was told numerous times over Discord that Undead Nation was likely stolen from Inoinfraction, and I thought back to my childhood memories, and I soon realized the thematic and stylistic differences between chapters 1 and 5 and 6 onwards. Chapter 5 was the last chapter made by Boom, the creator of Inoinfraction. Xplex made chapter 6 onwards, which, if you pay attention enough, you can really start to see the creative differences. Chapters 1 through 5 are seamless transition, apart from one instance where you teleport inside of a volcano after clicking a button. Chapter 6 onwards involve teleporting literally everywhere, constantly. It's really annoying, like, when you get to, like, chapter, 10 or 11, I swear to God, you teleport literally 3 feet. And they just always do the stupid-ass white flash every time you teleport. It's, like, the worst. It's absolutely just really unprofessional. Sorry, that was... Okay. The dead giveaway was really the poorly written descriptions of the nanomite and the troll zombie. Like, the nanomite has, like, a horrible PNG. Basically, I snooped around in Xplex's inventory and I found that the only assets he made for the info section was the shitty one. Also, people literally just went into the game's code and found the stolen assets right there, so yeah. Eventually, he admitted to it 10 years later, so that's cool. Never seen something like that in Roblox before, but I'm glad I was hyper-fixated enough to make a giant video on it when nobody else would.
The king of plagiarism himself. Dude was an absolute menace. Public enemy number 1. He would copy games, copy groups, copy clothes, and even YouTube videos. He had a reign of dominance on the front page. It wasn't much of an exaggeration to say half the games on the front page at any given time were JaredValdez's stolen games. The Undead coming for me wasn't Stealth Pilot's game. It was Jared's. Which is a damn shame because Stealth Pilot was paying his dues as a true Roblox OG. That probably goes for a lot of other people JaredValdez stole from. There's not much else I could say. There's probably like a million videos on him. He's the premier plagiarist. Julius Coles, I don't know, was a Roblox developer known for not developing anything at all. He was a thief and a plagiarist. His flagship game, Town of Robloxia, I don't know, the title changes a lot, is a copy of Undead 2's game. Unlike JaredValdez, Julius swiped the game when it was uncopy locked, so as far as I'm concerned, it's no harm, no foul. What was wrong, however, was Julius swiping assets and claiming they're his own. Now the tricky thing here is I have to defend the countless grifters who baited and switched me when I was a kid. It's tough, but I'll do it. I think any cynical person could deduce that most copy and paste, bait and switch game developers were only in it for Robux. They did that pretty unabashedly. If it wasn't a stolen game, it was a game filled with free models. The use of free models were heavily looked down upon back in the day, but I argue that the hatred was kind of stupid. It's an available asset for all kinds of use. Why is that a bad thing? Some people back then would point out it lags out servers, and people more recently worry about the model they're implementing being backdoored or something scary. Point is, free models were a tool utilized by slop game makers who wanted a quick buck, but there were no pretentiousness or any real case of thievery displayed. The less egregious ones were using the tools that they were given. Julius Cole was a different story. There's actually a decent amount of evidence that supports that he was a red-handed plagiarist. He would copy assets, upload them as his own, and implement them into the game that he did not create. When pressed, he would insist that they were his. Now, it's hard to decipher what motivates him to lie about this. Julius Cole would later turn into a troll, but there's a possibility he was just trolling the whole time. He's always made ridiculous claims. He's always done weird stuff.
Somebody needs to blow Roblox up. Blow the fucking HQ up. The Roblox HQ is located in San Mateo, California. I hope somebody blow it up. Somebody needs to blow it up. This is a strong hate desire to all the Roblox members, to everyone who played Roblox. I hope everyone died who played Roblox. I hope all the staff members died. I hope all the administrators, moderators, everyone died associated with Roblox. Just go die, okay? Go die of cancer. End up like Eric Castle, because Eric Castle ain't shit. He was just a low-life bastard co-founder who died his deserving.
Were the bomb threats on Roblox a troll job or an angry response to a deletion?
The world may never know.
Now this one isn't as egregious in the court of public opinion, but it's just as common, if not more so, than game stealing. Clothing bootlegging is essentially just grabbing clothes and hustling them so that you own them. A lot of scummy throwaway groups just grabbed everything and anything and peddled it as their own. Your fucking fire Adidas sweater used to be 4K, but got whittled down to like 144 resolution because of how much compression it suffered from the endless bootlegging operations. Bootlegging used to be a really big problem, especially within the tail end of the 2016 era. A lot of you may remember this. The search feature was awful and would just recommend whoever spammed the tag you were searching for the most. It was horrible to buy clothes during this time. The shitty search feature, the slimy feeling of buying from an obvious bootlegger, the price floors, and lack of availability for items, especially ones that used to be free, caused a lot of people to bootleg at an individual level, including myself. The reason why clothing bootlegging kicked off was mainly because of Roblox's incompetence. I was boosting clothes because it was more convenient and less expensive. It was mainly an act of defiance against the price floors. The price floors were expensive for a brokey like Vintage Healer. $5 Builders Club was pushing it, but I have to pay 10 Robux for a t-shirt? Are you kidding me? Also, I'm pretty sure it made free shit unavailable by default, so I started swiping stuff that wasn't for sale. One of these articles of clothing that I swiped was an injured suit, because I couldn't find any that looked decent that were for sale. It wasn't a free one that got unlisted. Turns out it was made unavailable deliberately by some random goober. The guy who made it even found me and he told me off. He's banned now, so yeah. YouTube is a weird place when it comes to plagiarism. H-Bomber Guy's 4-hour marathon of video proves that. but I noticed at the independent level, a lot of Roblox people just inadvertently be influencing each other, bruh.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, I guess. As for people trying to like copy my content, like you said, whatever you want to call it, I just say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Like, yeah, people accuse Senprista of copying my Experience Games video, but like, it's whatever. We're friends on Roblox, at least. Haven't spoken a word to each other. Basically, all that means that he saw how good that a video on Experience Games could be, and he felt inspired. What can I say? I mean, it's crazy because I think I was like the first video that started the wave calling out these shitty Experience Games. So the creator put me on that like dumbass shameful people wall and immediately joined my server and asked to VC with me after I posted that video initially. But like, after other YouTubers and then the big YouTuber streamer guys started to call out these games, all of a sudden my opinion isn't shameful anymore. Oh my god, crazy, right? I heard he renamed the channel to like Funny People or whatever, I don't know. Who knew your opinion becomes more valid when popular people decide to validate it, guys? It's just so fucking crazy. Oh my god, as long as your opinion is popular, it's valid, guys. Just remember that on the internet. That's sarcasm, by the way. Please stick true to yourself. So yeah, Albert stuff or Flamingo, whatever, they agreed with what I said, and look at that. Everyone's like, oh my god, you were actually right this entire time. You know, I never even disagreed with you in the first place. Those people are just so stupid. Yeah, yeah. I saw y'all switching up. Don't think y'all slick. As always, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go back to edging now. See ya.
I was freaking out when I was going through my multi-week tirade against the old versus new Roblox debate. I thought I was a visionary, and this was a groundbreaking take. I took a quick look and nope! Green Apple Stat made a video months before mine. Not only that, this gone fishing feller beat me to the punch. Now, I try to find as many assets as I can and try to mention the OG creators as best I can, but sometimes it's hard. I save first, credit second, which is a bit, irresponsible, I must admit. However, you gotta cut me some slack here. How am I supposed to find the OG credit for a person's image on the internet? Something so passed around so much without proper credit. Do I really want to risk battling out copyright claims with established companies if I mention them for clips because they want a payday from my ad revenue? Is this really a true source of the asset I swiped? There's just too much variables going against me. EmpLemon highlights this pretty well in pretty much any video. He's kind of a copyright radical. There's lots of anti-corporate themes and rhetoric within his videos. The copyright metagame specifically takes digs at the avarice that corporations possess within their copyright. I shouldn't be an arbiter for copyright or plagiarism. This was just my thoughts and outlook on the matter. If they're ass backwards and wrong, I apologize. Thank you very much to Breadian for contributing to this video. His YouTube will be linked in the description. Alright, that's it. Bye-bye.